Hey everyone, Dean Rojas here, and probably the number one question that I get asked the most is, what rod and reel and line setup do I use when I'm frogging? You know, and a lot of it has to do with how tall you are a lot of times. I'm only about 5'10", so anything over 7 foot is really cumbersome to me. So usually when I face to face with somebody, when I get asked that question, I can pretty much gauge, how tall of a rod that they're going to need. Now, for what I use for target fishing, for frog fishing, is something that I really enjoy doing, as opposed to like mat fishing or lily pad fishing, where you're bombing it out there and you're working through over the cover and so forth. I like to pinpoint it. I like to put it next to the stump. I like to put it underneath a tree, underneath a dock, and really target specific where I want to place the frog. Now, I designed a rod for ducket fishing. It's the Terex model. It's my 7-foot medium heavy action frogging rod. And when I say medium heavy, that's meaning very, very light medium heavy. I mean, it's more heavy than anything else. So, but I want that fast tip, and that's where the medium part comes in. It's only about that much of the front of the tip of the rod. That's what I want. When I'm skipping a bait, or when I'm walking the bait, I want to have that little bit of give in the front of the rod to allow me to work the action properly. Now, that is so crucial when you're frog fishing. You don't want something that's really stiff, because you can't apply the action to the bait and make it come alive, and that's what brings those strikes on. On top of that, you have to have a high gear ratio reel. I use a 7-to-1 Ducket 360R bait cast reel. Lots of power. I lock down the drag all the way, so there's no give at all. So when I hit that fish, I've got strong braid that's going to penetrate the fish's mouth without any stretch, and that's exactly what I want. I want to make sure that when that fish bites it, all the power, all the rod, all the reel, the lockdown, drag, everything is nothing but hook penetration, because it's so critical when you make that perfect cast or that long cast up underneath the tree. You want to make sure that when that fish hits, that you have every advantage, and this setup will allow you to do that. Now, you got to have good line, and everybody asks me, what size line do I use? Well, I use FX2 braid made by Sunline. It's a line that I designed for frogging and for flipping, more or less for punching, but something super sensitive, slick, but really strong. I use 80-pound FX2 braid. Now, you may think, well, 80-pound, that's really heavy. Well, it actually has the diameter of 65-pound braid on regular models, but breaks at 80-pound strength, which is exactly what I want, because I have absolutely no give, and I know there's no bass that's going to break 80-pound test line. So those are the three things, the trifecta of whenever you're going, ready to go frog fishing, get really serious about it, get the right stuff, get the right rod, the right reel, and the right line, and you'll be more successful in your frog fishing.